Hello, loves. I'm going through a little walk in a campground in Alberta, in Canada. We're in the area of Waterton, and it's actually our last day here. I just wanted to go enjoy nature with you all while I share a bit of what's been on my mind and some more of what I've been wanting to share from my heart. And today I wanted to talk about the freedom that comes with the nightmare come true. And the way that I experienced it, the very first time, was actually the significance of my little tiny fish tattoo that I have here on the side of my body. And it's a little fish with a little bubble. And the reason I got that is because when I first learned how to scuba dive, I was trying to get my certification and doing the open water dive, and it was just the basics. Just learning how to breathe through your mouth and getting worried about being 30 feet underwater and choking on water and then being able to practice spitting it out. Well, my biggest fear, I wasn't even going to continue with the course. I wanted to quit after day one because I was so nervous about being under the water and choking, being deep in the water and the ocean and choking on the water. Well, it happened. The thing that I was most afraid of, the reason I wanted to quit, happened while I was in the depths of the ocean, and I ended up swallowing some water, freaking out, and then coughing it back out as I was taught. And then just when you're down there, all there is to do is just breathe. And so after that happened, I coughed it out, was able to survive that, and just continued breathing. Yeah, it just reminded me that's all there is to do, is just to keep breathing, and that life goes on after the dreaded thing. Well, that wasn't even the biggest lesson. The biggest lesson was, or the biggest nightmare come true, was when my mom was diagnosed with stage 4 cervical cancer while I was in Thailand serving in the Peace Corps, miles away with no service. And I suddenly get service and get a bunch of messages from my family and friends, and I knew something was up. And there's certain things and certain moments in life that feel like death, that feel like death, like you can't stop, you can't breathe. You feel like life is going to be over, or something's happening to your mom and life can't go on without her. I can't imagine life without her. And it feels like the end of life. And the nightmare come true. And then it passes. It happened. And now on the other side of it, we're at chemo treatments, laughing, going through dating apps together. She's suffering, of course, in her body and in the pain, but we're still traveling, sharing, loving, cuddling, talking, and able to enjoy our time together. And I'm able to continue swimming and enjoying the fishies, and just life goes on past the nightmare come true. So that's just today's little message of that dreaded thing that we are all avoiding, or that's our personal nightmare come true. That what sometimes feels like death, once we experience it, can be the beginning of a new life, can be, the sense of freedom and empowerment. And that's what I discovered, because once you feel like the worst thing that possibly can happen to you happens, and then you're still standing there breathing, and you get to choose what you want to do next, then there's nothing, to me, all I could feel was just gratitude and joy for every little thing after that. It was like the beginning of a new life, which is why I'm living the way I'm living, and able to see things through that perspective. So just wanted to offer and also ask, what are some of the nightmare come trues that you've already experienced that have given you that kind of sense of freedom? Or what's something big that you're dreading that feels like a nightmare come true, that you can maybe take yourself there mentally and just do an empowering exercise of how you can see life after that nightmare come true. Like, really realizing how small we are, how brief this time is on earth, and how quickly things continue to go on, and life just, like, the world keeps spinning, life goes on. We're just a little pebble in this huge world. Yeah, that's a bit of today, and hopefully I'll be able to share more.